Hi, this is Dave Cohn with Emerald Trading Technologies with a short video to demonstrate how to start trading symbols with XTremeAutoTrader. At the top here we have the XTremeAutoTrader trading console, as we see here, with three symbols loaded in: Citigroup, GE, and IBM. Below the trading console we have three 10-second bar charts, one for each symbol. We're going to use these bar charts to demonstrate how the protective OCO exit bracket adjusts as the position changes. So let's start the process here. We're going to first click here on the settings column to open up the default settings form. If you have multiple monitors, that settings form may open up in another monitor, or all you may see is a blue TradeStation arrow icon in your toolbar, in which case you'll need to click on that to open it up. In this case, we're going to have to do this twice in order to get the settings form to sit on top of our window here. Here we see the settings form. We're not going to spend time going over many of these settings. Rather, we simply want to expedite getting some symbols trading. So we're going to first click on default bar type and set the default bar types for all the symbols to be 10 seconds. This will greatly speed up the trading action. The other thing we're going to do is put in place protective OCO exit brackets. Now we click here to finalize the default settings, and we see that underneath our settings column, everything is now shown as customized in green. This means we can customize the settings for each symbol uniquely. We click on that again, the form reappears, but this time we see the symbol in the row we clicked on, the account number, and then the default settings. We're going to set these default settings as the final settings for all symbols, again, to expedite things. And we can do that by simply coming up here and saying, lock all settings for all symbols. So we click on that, the form goes away, and now we see in all three rows locked. This means that the settings are locked for each of these symbols. You can no longer change them. And you must lock the settings for all symbols before you can trade any of the symbols. We also notice that we see click to create chart in the start stop column, which we could do to create a chart, but we're going to demonstrate here how to automatically create all the charts for all the symbols. In order to do this, we're going to go over here and click on one of the locked cells, and we see the settings form reappear. Most everything is grayed out, indicating that we can no longer alter it. But there is a new form up here called Auto Creating Charts with something called Auto Sign Back In. Let me explain how this works briefly. When creating charts, strategy charts for XTremeAutoTrader, the reliability of creating those charts properly is greatly enhanced if you first take TradeStation offline, where it's not receiving either data or connected to the order server. So once the strategy charts are done being created, you then want to take TradeStation back online. You can do this manually, but by clicking on Auto Sign Back On, the process of manually signing back onto TradeStation is automated. When you click on it, a small window opens up for you to enter your TradeStation user ID and password, and you then click OK, and it saves that information in an encrypted format so that it can automatically sign you back onto TradeStation when the strategy charts are fully constructed. We're going to now create the strategy charts by clicking on Auto Create Charts for all symbols now, right here. Here we go. First, we see that we were taken offline, and now we see the first strategy chart being created. We're hearing alerts that charts are being created. We'll hear those alerts when they're being created, strategies are starting up or shutting down. You now see we're signing back into TradeStation automatically. Which they did. We see now that we have the start button in place for all the symbols. We have an OCO protective bracket in place, and we see the initial strategy position for each symbol. Now, what we're going to do here on these charts is we're going to enable account orders in position so that we can see any of the brackets created while we're trading these symbols. So now let's start trading the Citigroup symbol. All we have to do that is to simply click on Start, and we see that we've immediately got a position of -10, and we're flip-flopping back to +10, and we can actually watch this bracket rapidly change and adjust as the position changes every 10 seconds. We see the position just increased to 20 contracts, And you may even see the bracket dynamically adjust in time as the price changes. In a moment, the bracket will revert to 10 contracts, and then in another 10 seconds or so, the position will change to a minus 10 contracts. There we go, and we can see that the bracket adjusts. We're going to start up trading for GE, and likewise for IBM. We see all the brackets in place. We see how, as the strategy position changes, the actual position adjusts, and this is the speed at which the actual position is corrected to match the strategy position, often within about a half a second, and that includes sometimes removing and recreating the OCO protective bracket. Well, that concludes our brief presentation of how to start trading with XTremeAutoTrader.